Sonic the Hedgehog has been bouncing on springs and collecting rings for 31 years now, and what better way to celebrate the Blue Blur's birthday than by taking a trip down memory lane? Well, in the Hedgehog's latest classic collection of games, you can do just that. In Sonic Origins, players will be able to experience the original Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic CD, Sonic 2, and Sonic 3 and Knuckles all in one nice digital package. Today, I'll be discussing my thoughts and personal experience with the collection, its quality, and if I think it's worth the 40 smackers of an asking price. Alright, let's get right into it. So, as you boot up Sonic Origins, you'll be greeted by an all-new animated cutscene created just for the game. This is one of the many that you'll unlock as you play through the 4 titles. I found the animations incredibly charming, and although a few didn't add much to the overall story, there are some, particularly the opening cutscenes to Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, that really feel like they make the games feel complete. Hats off to the animation team because they were really able to convey what was going on with zero voice work. For example, in Sonic 2, we see Tails getting bullied by these 2 red foxes, and even though we never actually hear what they say, we can tell exactly what's going on by the way he holds his tails. With the cutscene, we basically get to see Tails' origin story of how he meets Sonic and how he learns to fly, which is nice because to my knowledge, this is the first time in the series we get an in-game visual of this. My main complaint with the cutscenes in Origins is that I wish some were longer, because literally 1 or 2 are less than 20 seconds, but that's just because I love them so much. Overall, I think the animations are great, and I hope, and good God, Sega, I'm on my hands and knees here, if they decide to make more classic 2D Sonic games, it will be super cool to have some more animations like these to connect the dots of the game's plot. But that's enough about the cutscenes, let's talk modes and gameplay. For every classic title available, players will have 2 main choices of what style of play they'd like to experience. Those choices are Anniversary and Classic, with Boss Rush and Mirror Mode being available as well. Technically, Mirror Mode isn't playable off the bat depending on what edition of the game you get, but we'll rant about that later. Boss Rush is pretty self-explanatory, you literally just fight all of the game's bosses with any of the playable characters of your choosing. In Anniversary Mode is where things get interesting. If you've played Sonic Mania, you'll already be familiar with the addition of the Drop Dash to Sonic's arsenal of moves. Now, for the first time with Anniversary Mode, players will be able to use the move in all 4 classic games, and honestly, it feels great. Something that just fits as if it was there all along. That being said, hardcore fans may consider Anniversary as Baby Mode considering the fact that there are no lives or continues, meaning you'll never need to worry about running out of lives and getting a game over, making all the titles more approachable for everyone. Besides the addition of the Drop Dash, another great feature of Anniversary Mode is the ability to retry special stages. All my veteran Sonic fans out there know how difficult some of these stages can be, especially the ones in Sonic 2. Like bro, how are you supposed to see some of these rings show up when it's just like a split-second reaction? And dude, do not get me started on the amount of times Tails has had like a bunch of rings and he just hits one of the spikes and then I get screwed and I gotta do the whole stage over again. But anyway, I digress. Having another chance, or a third, or even a 10th opportunity to retry is great. If you need to give this special stage another go, players will need to use 1 anniversary coin per retry. If you want to start off with a bunch of coins, I highly recommend you do a couple missions in mission mode. You'll need to get 10 S's in each game for a trophy, so for completionists, you'll want to do this anyway. For those who want to play the games as they were, then Classic Mode is for you. Here you play the 4 titles in their original 4x3 format. Oh, and before I forget, Anniversary Mode allows you to play all the games in widescreen, and correct me if I'm wrong, hardcore Sonic people, but I believe this makes Origins the first collection that features Sonic 3 and Knuckles in widescreen, which is definitely very cool. Since Classic Mode's perspective doesn't take up the whole screen, players can use various borders of their favorite Sonic characters and games to add a little pizzazz. Unfortunately, if you didn't pre-order the game, you'll have to purchase these borders as DLC, which is kinda scummy, if you ask me. Moving on, Classic Mode just means you're playing whatever game you're choosing with no added features. So no Drop Dash, no Anniversary coins, and you're just raw chili dogging it. Sorry, that's kind of weird visual. Anyways, you get no bonuses or rewards for playing Classic Mode, so unless you're a Sonic tryhard or purist, I recommend just going with Anniversary Mode. If you ever played a mirror mode before in another game, you'll know exactly what this mode is all about. Literally, it's just playing in Anniversary Mode, but everything is swapped from the right to the left. So instead of running to the right to get to the goal of stages, you'll be doing the opposite and heading to the left. Nothing crazy, but it'll keep things fresh for those who've played the games hundreds of times. Unfortunately, again, if you don't pre-order the game, you won't have mirror mode when you first boot up Origins. You'll have to beat one of the games first, and then you'll unlock mirror mode for that specific game afterwards. And again, you don't get any specific reward or unlockable for beating this besides bragging rights, I guess. The last of the modes available are Blue Spheres for Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where you can play Blue Spheres stages that were from the Genesis, and there are even new Blue Spheres stages that were made just for Origins, which has a pretty dope looking start screen. One of the most unique modes you can try out in Origins is its story mode, which allows you to play through all 4 games continuously. I imagine most people would play the games in order anyway, unless you just want to relive your personal favorite, but it's neat that the option is here. Last but not least, there's Mission Mode. Here you get to play through brief little challenges and snippets of various zones and acts from each game. Some can be pretty difficult, but the rewards are worth your efforts. Depending on your rank when you finish the challenge, you get a ton of anniversary coins really quickly. What sucks is that extreme difficulty level missions are locked behind paid DLC, and getting S's on these will net you 20 coins a pop. These coins aren't just used to retry special stages, they're also used to purchase any premium unlockables in the museum. You'll need to unlock 46 with coins to get some trophies or achievements. Speaking of the museum, this is where you can view original artwork, box art, sketches, watch any of the game's cutscenes, and listen to various music tracks. You can even watch portions of the Sonic 30th Anniversary Symphony and all the episode of Sonic Mania Adventures. My main gripe with the museum is that you can't listen to any of the music while outside the museum. I feel like it would be pretty cool to listen to any track of my choosing while looking over the various islands that Sonic and friends have visited over the course of their classic adventures. Also, there's more features that are locked behind DLC here, which is just unnecessary in my opinion. If you want to have a cute sprite of Amy giving Sonic some sugar while listening to a tune, you'll have to buy DLC. Want to have animations of Sonic and Tails on various islands? Buy up some DLC, bro. Would you like to zoom in on the islands to get a closer look at them? My man, my dude, it's DLC, baby. Want to listen to even more classic music from Chaotix and others? Well, you get the idea. I don't know, man. For a game that's supposed to celebrate Sonic's roots, it feels a little bit dirty locking things out like this, but that's just me. So on the topic of issues I have with Origins, let's talk performance, shall we? I know for most Sonic games these days, it can definitely vary depending on the platform you play on. But for me on PS5, I had an overall good experience. That being said, throughout my time with Origins, I did have my fair share of bugs and glitches. The worst I encountered actually forced me to close the application straight up. The first time this happened in mission mode was during a Knuckles challenge where I think I died and fell into a wall, and I was just like spamming every button, and I was like, dude, what's going on? And yeah, so I had to close the app. Unfortunately, I didn't get this on recording, so you'll have to take my word for it on that. The other time was when I just boot up the game, and for some reason the game just kept loading, and loading, and loading, and then for a second I was getting Sonic 06 flashback, so I just decided to close the app. The next time I started the game, it worked fine, so it was pretty strange. Besides this, the game never stuttered or crashed or anything like that, which should be expected for games, you know, that are more than 2 decades old. The only thing that really caught my eye as weird was Tails' AI. I played Sonic 2 and 3 Knuckles a bunch, and I don't remember his AI ever being as bad as it was in Origins. That's not to say he was never helpful, he definitely was, most of the time. But there would be for sure moments where I would just hear Tails frantically jumping repeatedly in the background for no apparent reason. Which would suck because there are some times where I would need him to help me reach the special zone or the upper path of a level. Hell, there was even a time where my man got stuck inside a part of the level on Angel Island, just jumping for dear life, and all I could do was watch. Other than that though, I never experienced any visual glitches or stuttering or any other performance-based issues like I mentioned before. So performance-wise, Origins gets a passing grade from me. Could be better, but hopefully some of the things I mentioned could be patched out at a later date. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for, is Origin worth the 40 beans? I mean, it definitely depends on how crazy of a Sonic fan you are. If you're a die-hard fan like myself, you probably already purchased the Big Daddy Digital Deluxe Edition as soon as the game was announced. If you're on the fence and have always wanted to try these games but don't mind waiting, I'd honestly suggest waiting for a sale. Think about it, you're getting 4 classic games that are 2 decades old but gold, mind you. These games definitely do still hold up in my opinion, but for $40, I don't know, man. The $20 to $30 range would have been a little more acceptable for me, especially with the headache of all the DLC. Sega literally came up with a complicated chart to show it all. Like, really guys? Sure, Origins does add some neat features, but that's it, man. To me, they're just neat features, nothing that makes the $40 asking price seem valid. If they added another playable character like Amy or something, then maybe I'd be a little more willing to give it to them. I just want to clarify though, I do love Origins, and I adore all these classic Sonic games. I had a huge smile on my face replaying these games and watching the cutscenes. I also really enjoyed looking at all the islands, whether it was in open map view or in the island tour mode. Longtime fans will also recognize that the Mission and Museum Islands are based off Sonic Spinball and Sonic 3D Blast, which is a nice nod to the other Genesis titles. I will say this about the islands, it is pretty cool that they change. There were times where I would see Super Sonic zipping around after I got all the Chaos Emeralds, and for Sonic 3 and Knuckles you can adjust Angel Island to have it on the ocean with the Crash Death Egg, or have it floating in the sky. So it is cool, but they could have just included it in the base game. Also, I wanted to mention that Sonic Origins is super easy to complete. So for gamer score or platinum trophy fiends out there, you might want to keep this game on your radar. You literally just beat all the games, take out some baddies, get S ranks in mission mode, and unlock stuff in the museum, and that's it. Most of the trophies or achievements you'll just unlock while casually playing. So, in conclusion, is Origins a good collection? Yes. Is it worth $40? That's dependent on the person. So with that said, those are my overall thoughts on Sonic Origins. Let us know in the comments what your experience with the game was, and if you agreed or disagreed with anything I mentioned. If you'd like to see more videos on Sonic and everything else gaming, you're already in the right place. That's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. Iron out.